Hey, Zen. Hey, Zen. The cat just plopped herself down on my lap and like clawed at my hand while she was doing it. Oh, what a good girl. Okay, so this is the last stream until vacation. Nope, you get no? Okay, bye. All right, well, she'll probably be back at some point. Although it's easier to work without her trying to get all over my keyboard. So where did we leave off? Make a debug function, unlock all the battles. This is just file an issue for this. File an issue for these. File issues. There we go. Thanks, Stilling. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice time. And, you know, any amount of time away from something, a long enough amount of time away from something, I think can give you perspective on that thing you're away from. And I don't know what perspective I need, but that's how these things usually go. Something changes or you realize something, and then you get back and you've got a refresh view ideally. Hey, Hip Hop. Hey, Darkstorm. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. All right, so projectiles task, where are you? I don't know if I actually marked that I was doing it, but it should have been in here. Nope, I did not. Okay, well, there it is. Yeah, so this is the task. Start on effects, mark them done. Okay, so projectiles are good. Now what? Effect, add added to entity and removed from entity functions to effect, which would take in a battle and know how to apply it to the given entity. These should probably automatically get removed on death. I should use it to add some basic particle systems to indicate when effects are active. Then aperture on buffs. These buffs shouldn't be removed when the entity dies, so we should either add a concept of permanent buff or just reapply the buff. Yeah, how about we start with the simplest part of this. Effect. What do we have on here? We have unused, undamaged dealt, undamaged taken. What applies effects? I think it's individual abilities. Where's poison? Where's burn? What? Oh, maybe wait, no, yeah, what? Burn debuff. Where is this? Oh, it inherits from timed effect. Okay. Did I fix the thing from last stream? Yeah, everything's looking good now. Well, I guess there's not much more to show than fireball's working and no errors happening, but yeah, it should be fixed. Yeah, so what does this do? What adds burn debuff? It's just fireball, right? Yeah, here. So we add a burn debuff and we call add effect. And this gets the effects component to do this. The effects component doesn't know the entity associated with it. We can make some static functions for this too, though. All right, basically what I'm thinking is once an effect is added, we should tell the entity that it was added. There are a couple ways we could do this. So effects component could have a notification, but effect is what needs this. Yeah, how about we start with that? Public virtual void added to entity. I think component has the same thing here. Yeah, it does. Yeah, let's just copy these. Okay, looks good. Now, nothing needs to override this, but let's have something like Cloak of Shadows override this. And here's what we're going to do. And this is going to look maybe a little bit weird at first. We're just going to say entity dot modulate. We're going to assume it's a node 2D entity for now. Modulate equals new color 111 0.5. Then let's go back to the town and let's make it so that you actually get a rogue instead of a mage. Now something needs to know that this was added, and this is where we have a couple ways of doing things. either we go through a function that will know to call this method that we need, which I think is a bad idea, or we add a notification, like an event that gets raised from effects component. Yeah. So we'd have public event on effect added, on effect removed. Hey, Leftchus, how you doing? I just mentioned you to my wife the other day because I was like, I think I said something along the lines of, I like the idea of pranks, but I don't want to involve other people with them. And I started talking about pranks and how, Left just used to buy these really long domain names. It was like a $10 one-off joke, but no harm was ever done to anybody. Something like that. Hey, Josh, this is the second stream and lasts for about a month. And I'm taking my vacation. All right, add effect. We're going to call this and then this. And now, where do we add an effects component? Effects component. Oh, that's not how that works. Ooh, we got a lot of these. Probably should just search for a dot star new. And there it is. There's the one call. So what I think we should do is when we add a component, when we add this particular component to an entity, we immediately connect the event handlers. Although who's going to handle this, I guess? I guess the effect is just told about this, yeah. No, Lapses, please don't buy one. I always feel bad because I feel like they don't get enough attention to be worth the money. Like one April Fool's Day, I bought the gigantic water jug and I felt like, all right, that was worth it. We haven't really used that jug since then. We still have it, but I felt like that was good enough value for the joke. I feel like spending $10+ on a domain for, 10 people to see and laugh at. It's like $1 per laugh. All right. So if we only ever add effects components through here, then we could connect it. All right, let me write this out because I'm having a little bit of a hard time just kind of thinking about this because we're going to say public static void add effect component to entity, taking the entity. So this is as simple as it would look. However, component EC equals new. This is EC. Then we say on effect added. Yeah, these. Name can be simplified because we just don't need to. It doesn't even tell me how I can simplify it. I mean, I guess I can just remove this, right? Yeah. Last one I got, Turbo Dave said I was the funniest person. Rode that high for at least a year. That's good value. Good bang for the buck. Pool resources and vote on the domain to buy, then we get it to share it with our friends. Wouldn't you all want to point it to something different? I feel this is very short-sighted. Okay, this works, but now nothing will ever remove these, right? What does that mean? Well, if you remove the component, we're probably disposing of it. So I guess that should hopefully be fine. Just point to the purchase page. Get more people into the club. The fund eventually reaches $1 million. Got joke domains left and right. Okay, we could do this. And in the battle system, we put this here. Battler. Except for it's called effects component dot whatever. Yeah. Which means that the constructor should probably be made private. How do you do that? I'm gonna guess that there's no built-in C# way of doing it the way we had up here, so I'm just gonna say private effects component. Is that fine? A constructor should not follow a method. Okay, yeah, that sounds like it's fine. A constructor should not follow a property. Okay, okay. There we go. This is private so that we only ever make an effects component with the right event listeners. Summary documentation should be given with standard text. I don't even know what that means. Clarkio, thanks for the resub. Congrats on the alpha release. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I don't know if you saw any of the looking through feedback stuff, but there was a good amount of feedback, and it wasn't all like, hey, yeah, the game sucks. Oh, you got even more responses since then. Yeah. But it is all people who pretty much found the stream through, or found the game through me, except for one person. Yeah. Also, this is concerning. Some people want to play this game on mobile, and I don't plan on doing a mobile thing unless it's very successful on desktop. But yeah, so now we're going to start working toward checkpoint number 2, except today is the last day for about a month. It's May 20th, and I probably won't be streaming again until June 17th. But yeah, I'll be recharged. I think I'll have a good idea of what I want to pursue. And then what I'm hoping, this is a very tentative date, but this might be checkpoint number 2. So July 19th. So essentially 1 work month from now, which is 2 calendar months. Hope we can enjoy lots of good food. Yeah. I hope so too. I think it's gonna be good. What I look forward to more than food, smoothies. Smoothies are the only thing anyone ever needs to consume. Take it from me, a health professional. Put this in a comment. Constructor summaries have a different standard. Can it just fix this? I don't think it fixed anything. All right, just put in a regular comment. I am curious what this even means though, but yeah, we'll just delete it for now. Oh, whoops, I deleted that thing with the right event listener. Yeah, there was good feedback. Yeah, good as in quantity, but also good as in general sentiment. So I categorize feedback in a few different buckets. I mean, this isn't unique to me, but bugs, suggestions, maybe like UX struggles or confusion. Yeah. So the bugs are all pretty straightforward. I would say most of them need to be fixed, and some of them are just not going to be problems in the future. Same thing with some of the confusion. It's like, look, this was checkpoint number 1. We spent a month, and trying to get any sort of game done in a month, you're going to have feedback. There's going to be confusion. Some of the suggestions, there are a couple categories here. Some are like ones will accommodate somehow, either by incorporating it or by obviating it in a different way. And then other ones where they're like, they're just sort of not reasonable given the game design. And then, yeah, just other ones are in the food for thought category, I guess, for the future. So yeah, I think this has been pretty good. By the way, some of the not reasonable ones, imagine if someone was like, remove selling from the game. No one said that, but that would be one where it's like, okay, I mean, thanks for the feedback, but that's pretty crucial to a game called Skeleseller. So let's try this out. Let's go see how this works. Cloak of Shadows. This was added to entity, now removed from entity. Set this back. We can't just modulate from everywhere. This won't work, but this will at least let us test this out. So the rogue is now going to go half transparent when it uses Cloak of Shadows. Yeah, suggestion, no skeletons, no selling. Actually, don't make a game at all. It's going to be a utility called Skeleseller, and it's going to be an eBay client. But only for funeral related stuff. All right, so this thing should turn invisible. Come on. It is not invisible. Is there a bug? No. All right, then I messed something up. What did I mess up? Well, for one, is this even being called? I guess let's start with that. Oh, wait, this is marked virtual. This should be override. Wait, why didn't it complain at me? That shouldn't have even been possible, right? Yeah, no suitable method to override. Oh, because it's not a buff. Whoops. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, well, then let's go put this into the dodge increase. It doesn't belong there, but I want to test it. There. All right, now it should work. This was more of a success than Idle Ascendance, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Idle Ascendance was, I don't think, destined to be a great game. Come on, turn. Yes, look at that. All right, cool. It works. I mean, there's a little bit of a problem because you also see the life bar turn slightly transparent. But this just proves that we can do something here. What do we want to do? I'm trying to think of how I want to manage this. I guess what we could do is we could add a component to the entity. Excuse me, that's something like transparency component. And then just sum all of them up. Or maybe just take the biggest one. Take the biggest one. And apply that. That's one way of doing this. Yeah, something like that is probably what we would do. Yeah. Hey, Danilo. Taking part in a new project that seems too complex. Any tips for how to deal with it? I don't want to give up or feel insecure about the project all the time. Is it a personal project? Is it a work project? Bobby. It's a work project. Okay, yeah. Whenever something like this happens, I usually say to lean on your coworkers. So there's some amount of personal responsibility here. And it's like improving your skills, doing research before asking questions. And then there's some amount of sort of team responsibility here to clarify things that would otherwise take too long. And part of this is, I guess, getting help when you need it, which is where you are and you're doing something about it, which is good. But yeah, at some point, it's like, let's say someone were to start working on Skeleseller right now. We've got a month worth of code and they might be like, oh yeah, here's how I would do things. And it doesn't necessarily matter how they might do things. It might matter how things are already being done here. And if that's not obvious to them right off the bat, it's like, okay, well, it's probably on me to make that clearer and to help guide them. And that's where I say leaning on your coworkers is good, because you might reach out to them and say, hey, here's my struggle. And they might say, oh, thank goodness you asked about this. I had no idea this was a blind spot for us. Or they might say something like, hey, you should really know this by now. And then you at least know, okay, I should go improve my skills and do some research. But I don't know, just from this general question, which bucket you're in. And given that it's at work, you should have other people who can help you, hopefully. If you don't have anyone at work who can help you, then I would probably have a slightly different answer here. I mean, you still have to do these things, but now you can't rely on coworkers for it. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Do we want to make a whole transparency system for this? Because we could. We could add in the transparency component and just have an alpha here. And then whenever, then we, I guess, have a transparency system. And we have something like added transparency component and removed transparency component. And then it figures out from the remaining components which alpha to set. Wants to rework our last 3 years of decisions because it's not how he would have done it. It's very tiring trying to work that. Oh man. I just can't imagine how that would go. Like, here are the reasons why we did something. Yeah, but I don't want to do it that way. Oh man. Yeah, that sounds tough. I mean, it's also kind of funny written out. Yeah, it's baffling. I love to hear the end of this story. Like, did you finally get them on board? What finally convinced them? Also, I wonder if you were like, hey, go make a prototype of the way you want to do it versus the way we want to do it, and now see how it would go. Although they'd probably have a biased answer for that. But yeah, it's always hard to convince people of things like that. Long structural changes. So yeah, I think I want a transparency component. I think the other thing too is that Cloak of Shadows is not really coded correctly, quote unquote. It was coded quickly. So instead of being one buff that does two things, it's two separate buffs, and neither one of them knows that it's actually Cloak of Shadows that does this. And maybe we should code this the right way. We probably should. Yeah, but I don't think I want to do this right now. So I think what we'll do is let's make the... What abilities do we have in the game? I guess let's just look through the folder here. Crush, Fireball. Oh, how about this? How about this? When an enemy is burning, let's have them have red particles on them or something. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's pretty good. There you go. I think I'm Broken Crown. Yeah, but I think this is revealing something that I want to do. Turn Cloak of Shadows into a single buff that can remove the children buff. Power plus dodge. I guess I should write that out. It can also add a transparency component with an alpha based on its level, and then make a transparency system that adds these components and figures out the entity's transparency based on the remaining components. Maybe take the highest alpha value, or the most transparent alpha. So this would work. There is one problem with this, which is I am currently setting this on just, where is it? I'm currently setting this on the entity, and the entity is actually a scene which has a life bar, which is why the life bar was going opaque as well. So we would need to just set it on the texture here, which means that every battle entity would need a way of getting the stuff that should be modified with a transparency effect. And there could be a component for that. Eventually, we also need some way of pointing to an entity's like battle sprite so that we don't make the entire scene transparent. Yeah. Hey, CMJ. Get dev to go back to initial commits and review to build that picture of understanding. It was just a time box thing where you chose implementation at the time on what you knew. They may have newer thinking, which is okay. Yeah, I think that's a very balanced response to this. I just add a transparency component with the sprite reference and modulate. The thing is, nothing will know the sprite. And oh, the bigger problem, okay, so there are two problems, I guess. The effect doesn't have the sprite that it should modify. And so for this, we need some pointer to it or a reference to a battler. But the other problem is stacking transparency effects could be broken. Like imagine if every time you added one, you just said, okay, the alpha is now equal to 0.5. Then later you add one where it says the alpha is 0.4. When you remove this one, it should set it, I mean, normally it would try setting it back to 1. But it should actually set it to 0.4. So that's why I was thinking a system could keep track of where this all is. But anyway, this is a task for later. I don't think it's worth doing for right now. I think instead what we should do is just add some like basic particle effect. And not even here, but we should put it in the burn debuff. Burn debuff, yeah. Just to prove we can do this. So the real burn effect should probably be a scene or a fire sprite or something. I really just want to add in a CPU particles And let's tweak this a little bit. I don't even want to spend the time doing this actually. Yeah, let's just add enough particles and then delete the particles at the end. So it won't look like fire at all. I guess we could tweak this a little bit. Uh, hmm. Even if I do that though, I guess the burn debuff itself could keep track of the particle system that I added. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. There's a fire sprite sheet. Maybe that'd be better. Let me go find that. Oh, wait. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one that's already in the game for the fire dungeon, right? No, wait, not that one. Ah, here it is. Yeah, in dungeon. Yeah. All right, would this be good for representing that the entity is on fire? I guess this loops. We could use that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's better than what I was going to do. All right, I think then we've got this in instance. Yeah, Fire 1 and Fire 2. These are just animated sprites, which kept the sprite frames in here. Oh, also interesting here. If I enable this, so this is where this shows up. Why are there like 12 sprites in here? Are we supposed to play all 12 frames of this? Probably. They are different. Oh, there are 4 different fire effects? Huh. Okay. Yeah, so we can put this in a new scene. Save branch as scene. These are both the same fire though, right? This is this one, and this is this one. Yeah, they're both the same. Okay, so yeah, let's save as new scene. And we'll save this as fire. Sure. And then where are you? You're up there. Okay, so delete you. And then duplicate you up to there. All right. Does that look good? Maybe. Hard to say. This one had it like 2 pixels into the red of the brazier. This one should be 2 pixels higher than. There we go. Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah. So now the dungeon should look exactly the same. Let's turn that off and turn this back on. And then we can go instantiate the fire scene. So we can just keep track of, what is that, an animated sprite? So private animated sprite 2D fire sprite. Right, so when added to the entity, we make a new one of these. And it's its own scene. Fire.scene. Wait a sec. This is what needs to be called, have instantiate called on it, right? I think so. Instantiate battle. Yeah, dot instantiate. Animated sprite 2D. Cool. Then add that to the entity so that later down here we can remove the sprite. All right, let's try that. So how do we test this? We need to go back to the mage. Oh man, all right, I'm not doing that. We're just going to change it so that the rogue has fireball. It's just so much easier there. And then we need to give the rogue 1 level of burn at the very least. Grant money, skills, burn. Okay, so now it'll burn enemies, and we should see a little burn graphic appear. That did not work. Why did that not work? We instantiated it, we added it. I guess let's check the battler and see if it's there. Start battle. Go over to battlers. Yeah, there's the fire sprite. I wonder, oh, did I just not position it correctly? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, there it is. It's way at the bottom. Huh. Does this have, oh, you know what it probably did? It probably, when I made the fire scene, it probably put it like way off the origin. Yeah, it did. Oh, man. All right, well, whoops. All right, you should be at 0, 0. 152.98. Okay, that's going to be important to remember. 152.98. Because in here, we're going to need to set this one to 152.98. And then here we need to add to whatever we've got. So this is, oh, wait, what? This is correct. Where are you? How are you correct? Technically, I guess it should have been 152. What is this one at? 2 pixels to the left. This is 1 pixel to the left. Okay, yeah. It actually looks kind of good. 2 pixels to the right. Yeah, I want to move this one. I'm going to say Darkstorm is wrong. This fire should be over here. No, wait, there it looks fine. Okay, now I'm confused. I don't know why one of these looks good there and the other one doesn't. 1 and 2, yeah, what? Oh, that's weird. Why is that the case? This one, what I'm talking about is like this has 2 pixels on the left that are selected by this outside of the brazier that we have here, the torch. And this one only has 1 pixel to the left. But for whatever reason, they both look good exactly where they are. Well, whatever. As long as it works. Also, I don't think anyone's going to be paying that close attention to fire. I get feedback saying, you ruined the game. All right, do you ignite? Where'd the fire go? Oh my God, this should not be this hard. How am I not able to get this working? It added it before, and now it should be adding it as well to this entity. And we saw it, I guess, in the remote thing. Oh, the 2 pits could be different? That's possible. I didn't even think about that. Okay, do we have this? Where are battlers? Battler. You do not have the fire sprite. You have floating text that would say burn. Oh, I never got. Oh my God, I never put points into burn. That's why this isn't working. I forgot it's only a skill point thing. There. Now it'll probably work. Wow, look at that. Looks great. It's a little too low, maybe. And I guess you just keep casting fireballs such that it's not possible to tell if this is working correctly. But in the second level battle, you should be able to see because there are 2 enemies. So let's see. No, target the other one. Battle lost. I died too fast. Oh, well. Yeah, so those are the effects that I wanted to do. I think this is pretty good. Now, if the entity already has a fire effect, there's no way to tell that it already has one unless we check by the name of the fire scene that we've added. Or we could keep components for all this stuff. I'm not really concerned. If you shoot something with 5 fireballs, it'll just stack 5 times. Yeah, we could make a has fire component or something if we want to stop that. And maybe there's a reason in the future to do it. Maybe, whatever, there are 10 things that can burn an enemy and it looks really stupid. Or, I don't know, you're shooting fireballs like 10 per second. That could look bad. But for now, I think this is pretty good. I just am a little bit bothered by this. I think we need this to go up by like a couple pixels. Actually, this is based on the height of the enemy. So let's just leave it as is for now. Yeah, let's leave it as is for now. This just sort of proves that the effect system works. We're not actually using it. Okay, now when the entity dies, nothing is going to remove these. So we've got to do it. Yeah. Oh, whoops. That should have been fixed before. All right, where do on battle death handler? Here it is. This is when a health component thing happens, yeah. We don't know which entity this came from, though. I think let's do it this way then. Battler. This is technically just a node, though, right? Yeah, node. All right, so what we can do in here is we can go through and delete all of the effects that you might have had. However, well, for right now, that's okay. We can just remove all of them. And when we remove them all, let's see. Yeah, when we remove all, we just need to make sure that this is called, and it looks like it will be called. Can we say remove all effects? Public void remove all effects. This won't work. Yeah. We have to duplicate this if we're going to do this. There is no clone or anything though. I guess a to list would work. Okay. Let's go try that. Battler or what? Effects component. Did I make a static function? No. EC equals get component. We know that they're always going to have it, but we could check here. I don't think that should be a problem. All right, let's go try that out. So how do we test this? We need multiple enemies and we need burn to kill one of them before burn runs out. So let's make burn do like 1 billion damage. Deal damage here. New damage info, damage per tick. Okay, so wherever we create this thing is where we need to do this. Yeah, total burn damage, we're just going to say is 1,000 times this. So now 1 tick should immediately kill the enemy. And then we're just going to make more enemies. This plus 8. And then we're going to give the enemies way less damage. So, yeah, enemy power. We need to set this to something lower. All right, forest, your power is going to be 0. Easy peasy. So there will be 9 enemies. Fireball will kill them immediately. Grant money. Well, we don't need to, I guess. There we go. And that way, as soon as they're dead, the effect should leave them. Yeah, good. It's turning itself off. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Yeah, cool. Any errors? Yes, just 9. 1 per enemy. What's the problem here? Is it the you can't modify something as your, yeah. I thought as much. There's got to be a better way of doing this, right? C# general way of removing from collection as you iterate over it. One of the ways we could do it is just use a for loop and getting the elements. Yeah, like this. I'd make the fireballs like twice as bad. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think they look kind of silly, slowly going toward the enemy. Yeah, I think just iterating over this in reverse order would be fine. For this. And this is stored in a collection. Collection doesn't have random access, does it? I guess technically it'd be up to the collection to define it. It might be like a linked list where it has to do an O of N calculation every time, which would be a shame. But what is it actually backed by? Yeah, it's just a collection. C# collection index time complexity. I don't know how I just ended up with that query after pressing what I did, but whatever. Get always constant time. Oh, perfect. Wait, that's array list. Yeah, of course. What is just collection though? That's what I want to find out. Dude, such a shoddy job. Complexity of .NET collection classes. What is a collection by default? I thought it was just a... What is this doing? Yeah, I think collection is just an interface, but then what is this? Wait, no, this is a class. Is it abstract? No, it can be created. I'm a little confused. If I said new collection effect here, it's going to say I can simplify this first of all. But yeah, like, what is this? What is this backed by? Huh. I don't know. What is C# collection backed by? Like, how does it stored? All right, I'm confused. I don't know what it means to make a new collection. Huh. And what does that mean? And that's not just made up, right? C# playground collection, I don't know, int C equals new collection int. Should be valid. How do you fix this? Using wherever collection comes from, I guess this. Is this not right? Probably not. Maybe what I'm doing is only .NET 8. Object model? Oh. Great, cool. So, all right, if I were to do c.add 5, c0, this should print 5. Yeah, so what does this mean? Is this backed by an array, a list, something else? Then how do we figure that out? I guess let's get rid of the time complexity things. I don't even understand this part. Huh. I I honestly don't know what this is. Yeah. What is this backed by? How do they store anything in here? C Sharp isn't open source, is it? Because I could just look at it if it were. Aren't lists and arrays just types of collections? Hey, ABC. Yeah, but if you just say new collection, what are you making, I guess? Like, what backs this? The list that is wrapped by the collection? It is open source? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's take a look then. It's decided on compilation, but what is it decided between? Like if I just say new collection, it picks at compilation time something, which I mean, I'm guessing it'd pick a list or something. No, the posting the link is fine. Yeah, you can post it if you want to. What is the time complexity of this? Can be used immediately by creating an instance of one of its constructed types. All you have to do is specify the type of the object. Derive your own collection type. Elements can be accessed using an integer. Indexes in this collection are zero based. Null is a valid reference. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. At the top, it was. Oh, you're saying I could go see the source from the top. Oh, interesting. I didn't know about that. Oh, it's backed by a list. Oh, that's easy. Oh my God. All right. So it's not determined at compilation time then. It's an implementation detail. I agree. I shouldn't make assumptions. This was just a like, hey, now that I'm thinking about it, what is this? I know I can just make it be a list myself, but I couldn't find in the documentation anywhere. What is this thing? Yeah. All right. I want to write that down about C sharp because I did not realize this. C sharp basics. C sharp is open source. If you ever want to find the doc or the code behind a particular class, go to a page like this and click the source link toward the top. Cool. Yeah, did not realize I could look at the source code. All right, well anyway, where was I going with this? Effect component. So I'm fine with this. Yeah, and this should work totally fine. And we shouldn't have any problems anymore. Oh, I don't have burn. Oh my God. I keep forgetting. Why does it have to be a skill you have to put points into? I should have just deleted that too. Skill grant one into burn. All right, now burn the entities. It's still producing errors? Well. Collection was modified. Enumeration operation may not execute. This is still coming from the same thing, right? Hey, Daniel. Line 33. Oh, this is different from what I thought. All right, this is because burn is killing the enemy. Yeah, this is because burn is killing it. How do we want to do this then? We could just do the same thing and iterate from the end. I ran into this problem last time though. I don't remember what I did about this. Because I could have sworn I did something with effect, like an effect could kill an entity, and I knew that. So I did some processing about the entities. I don't remember where. Hey, Rosen. What kind of keyboard is this? This is a corn keyboard. Take a look at that command. There it is. Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube limits the response by quite a lot. But generally, if you just type in something in here that you might be curious about, like what mouse am I using, or what keyboard, or what's my computer specs or something, you should find commands for pretty much everything. Try to keep that information as accessible as possible. Oh yeah, where do I iterate over the effects? Get targets. I think there was like a deal damaging. Yeah, here. Okay. So we would need to use this in a different way. Wait, what's being modified then? This part doesn't make any sense. Collection was modified here. Process effect. Oh, because an effect can kill something which would remove all of the effects. Got it. Yeah, all right, let's do it the other way then. I equals, so these are all the timed effects. Bar timed effects equals that. Oh, but this is just I enumerable. So we wouldn't be able to get timed effects dot any particular value, right? We need to do a to list on it first if we want to do it that way. I mean, I guess if the entity can die at any time, we could just make it so that the entity removes its effects after all this stuff is done. That could happen. How am I making a Godot game with C? I'm using C# to make it. So this is all C#. You see here. Godot by default uses C#? No, Godot by default uses GDScript. GDScript is a Python-like language, and I guess they're trying to get away from this because a lot of people said, oh yeah, it's basically exactly like Python. But it is pretty close to Python. So it's a Python-like language that's built in, and I mean, it's not bad. I would recommend if people are new to Godot and they don't have a preference of language to probably choose GDScript still. Yeah, I can make a new list, but then every time I'm iterating over this, I'm making a new list just so that I can iterate over the list to remove from the source collection. And yeah, I could do things that way. Another way I could do it is whenever I'm removing the effect from the entity, I could do it outside of, I could defer that. Because right now I have this on death that calls remove all effects. I could just have this happen in the battle. Yeah, I could have a process that goes through and then calls remove. Do I want to do that? I kind of want to. But I mean, those are kind of my only options. So what's happening is this. Burn is killing the enemy. Killing the enemy makes it remove all effects. I'm iterating over the effects as this happens. So solution number one, copy the list that I'm iterating over. And solution number two is defer removing all effects. And I think I prefer this way. Yeah. No, well, welcome in, Nikita. Yeah, I don't know what happened all of a sudden, but like 3 or 4 people just joined on YouTube, and that rarely happens that many people are chatting over there. It's most of the time it's on Twitch. Finishing diploma work in .NET. Cool. Yeah. Is it like a 4-year degree or a higher level than bachelor's, I guess? I think I'm gonna go with this. Defer removing the effects. So we'll just keep track of which entities are dead. Private. I'll just keep a collection of them. Node dead battlers. All right. So when a battler dies, we add it here. Actually, this should be a set, not a collection. Because I don't care. I don't know how a battler could die multiple times, but that'll work. All right, add them here, and then do this stuff in a process call. We don't even have a process call. Yeah, well, I'm going to add one. Don't you already have a reference to battler or health component on the iterated element? I do, but what I'm saying the problem here is like we have code that looks like this: timed effect, effect in all effects, something like that, or picture like an entity.get effects or something. And then we just say effect.run. So what's happening is this is causing burn deals enough damage for the enemy to die. And if it dies while we're iterating over this, then we end up removing all of their effects while we're iterating over them, and we get this error. So what I'm saying is we'll have the entity die still, but instead of removing all the effects immediately when they die, we can just remove them one step after that. Because I think everything else should be pretty resilient to whether the entity is alive or not. Yeah. Master's degree, I see you. Gotcha. So then you choose essentially what you're doing in your, I don't know what you call it, like a, what do you call it? The big master's project that you do. I want to say thesis, but that doesn't seem to apply to this. All right, so we add the dead battlers, then we process public override. Yeah. Darkstorm, that's essentially what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to say if, not this, for each dead battler, node battler in dead battlers, we remove all the effects, and then we simply clear out dead battlers. All right, that should hopefully fix this. No suitable method found to override. Oh, because this is not a node 2D. Oh, interesting. Honors project. I didn't do a master's degree. I only did a bachelor's. Because I felt I was done with school at that time. This is fine not to have this. We can just add in another system. What systems do we currently have here? I mean, I guess the battle system itself was supposed to be a system and isn't. Instance has the systems and... Wait, what? Shouldn't... Wait, something's wrong here. What's the navigation system that this works? No, it's a node. What? Did I just type something wrong? Oh my god. It's not a float, it's a double. That. Oh, yeah. Well, silly me. Okay, there we go. Made a monitoring system for services, basically sending data from apps to my library to my server that organizes the data. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've never done any like graphing centric libraries myself. And I feel like with a lot of data oriented things, you want visualizations of those. But I think it'd be cool to do. Suffering with fixing mistakes in text. Could always use AI to write better text for you. All right, we're going to get a point and burn, and we're going to start the battle, and we should not see any errors, and everything should still look good visually. So it burns, it dies, and there are no errors. We fixed it. Yeah, I like this a lot better because now you don't need to change something like wherever that code was, timed effect. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. Here it is. Yeah. Now we don't need to change this code. An entity can just die and we'll just handle it. In fact, we can delete this. Yeah. Could show me how it works. If you have pictures or something, I could take a look at the pictures, or I guess a GitHub or something like that. But if it's like a live service, I probably won't take a look. Text is in check. Yeah. I won't be able to understand it then. What was I going to do? Man, I'm like really losing my train of thought. And it's not because of chat. It's just I'm all over the place. Oh, yeah. I was going to write a comment on why we keep track of this. A field should not follow a property. There we go. Read-only fields should be before non-read-only fields. All right, looks good. So this is going to be keep track of battlers that just died. That way we can remove effects from them without worrying about whether we're currently iterating over those effects. Yeah. Hey, Capillara. No, you're not bothering me. Like I said, it's not chat. Also, I'm streaming, so if I turn my head to the left and I read chat, that's on me. I do sometimes just not read chat. I think this is in a good state to check in. Yeah. All this really does is prove that we can do something. That fire effect that we added is like kind of closing the loop on the proof of concept, but it's not perfect and we should probably do a lot more of that. Oh wait, that needed to be done for a different reason. In fact, let's just check that in. Fix linter issue. Does the auto wrap work with commit messages or do I manually wrap them? So if I type something too long, what happened there? If I type something too long, I can press command dot and then just press enter on hard wrap line. I don't end up needing it for the subject line. I only use it for other lines. Do you have screens on the corner? No, I don't. I didn't see a point. I don't. A lot of the screens don't really refresh all that quickly anyway. And I have LEDs on the keyboard and I thought, okay, well, those refresh immediately. Although since then I kind of broke the LEDs. Code is stored in Git, yeah. I see. The auto wrap, the other thing you need to be careful of is if you're ever auto wrapping a list and you have like text here and it auto wraps, it'll make it so that it's not indented anymore. So you need to manually add 2 spaces. Yeah, I did solder it myself, but I also didn't have a case for the longest time. So I had the keyboard just on the desk and I think the PCB flexed a little bit and the solder kind of broke the flow. And now I can turn on the LEDs and like the left half works fine. Is this showing? Yeah, this is showing pretty well. And I like these light up effects as I touch the keys. And but yeah, the right half isn't working at all. So this is what it looks like with just one half of the keyboard lighting up. It's super cool. Also, I made the lights change color over time, so now they're pretty red. But if I just keep pressing them, they'll eventually turn pink and purple. So yeah, I want to use these effects. Yeah, the LEDs do look super cool. Maybe I should solder the other half correctly again, figure it all out, and just get it lit up. Because yeah, it's a lot of fun. Also, it was meant to be sort of functional. So you can see here, maybe you can see here, maybe not. But this key is red. This is my closed tab key. So that was a way of knowing which keys are destructive just at looking at the LED color. And the right half of the keyboard had all those too, but yeah, they're not working. All right, I'm gonna check this in and then I'm gonna take a break. So we need the fire scene. What even changed in here? Oh, we instantiated in the fire scene, I guess. Yep. Yeah, looks good. Interesting, Darkstorm. Yeah, I hope it helps out. Whoops. I did not mean to click that. I meant to click the thing just above that by like 2 pixels. Yeah, we don't want to change fireball damage. We don't want to change lightning bolt damage or cooldown. We don't want to change the rogue abilities. Yeah. All right, take care, Nikita. Yeah, good luck with your work. Thanks for dropping in. I'm not going to be streaming again for about another month. Most of the time is 3 times per week, but yeah, gonna take a vacation pretty soon. I got the today command that talks a little bit more about it. All right, looks good, looks good. Add effects component to entity. Looks good. Good, good, good. Oh, that was actually... Oh, could we remove... Yeah, we could remove effects that way. Oh, man. We should, if this eventually becomes a problem, we should probably do the same thing and just defer remove effects. Because I defer remove effects from dead entities. I should defer remove them from here too. But not an issue for right now. Hey, Stomper. What switches am I rocking? They're Kale Chocolate Reds. And am I going anywhere? I am. And hey, Puffin, I just have not shared where yet. So I'll probably share afterward. Is it possible to freeze my subscription? No. You can cancel it if you want. All right, I'm happy with this. Yep. Okay, this should not be checked in. And I'm going super slowly. This shouldn't be checked in. And town. Yep, that also shouldn't be checked in. Cool. So add effects to battle. The only thing that uses this is the burn debuff. Well, is burn debuff. This particular commit is more of a proof of concept than anything else. Although it's code I foresee us using pretty heavily. Yeah, they're low profile switches. Yeah, yeah. Are you thinking of making a keyboard like this, Capillara? How goes the learning journey? I'm not using Unity, and I wouldn't really say the focus is to learn right now, despite my name being Adam Learns Live on Twitch. I am just doing game dev. And yeah, if you take a look at the today command, it's got a link to the Skele command, which has a link to a document describing this. Oh, no, I know Capillara. I know you've been subscribed forever. Yeah. All right, like I said, I'm going to take a break. This is done. This task is pretty much done, and then we're going to move on after that. Yeah, I'll be right back. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hey everyone, close the game. Close the game. There we go. All right, so we're gonna mark this task as done. We're gonna push this. Done, done, done. I mean, I tested it. I've got some more ideas for what we want to do here, but yeah, this is closed. Oh, Capillara. That's the opposite of freezing your sub. Thanks for the 5 gifts. Very generous of you. Welcome, everybody. You're all subscribers now, whether you wanted to be one or not. All right, I've got 2 different things we can tackle now. Hard to say whether we can finish either one in 2 hours. One of them is to set up for having different enemy types. We have a really cool graphic that Quickie Joe made that I think I've shown, but let me show it again. Well, I gotta figure out where it even is. Bats, here it is, bats.mp4. All right, so those bats, and it's about to zoom in a sec. I know the quality's not great. I exported this in 720p and I like zoomed in 4x, so it looks really blurry. But yeah, they're animated bats and I think they're looking pretty good. So that's task number 1. Add enemy types and bats. And task number 2 is to finish up the quest system. Yeah. Oh, RM Cubic, thank you too for 7. Just check been sub for 50 months. Yeah, sorry, I could have told you that. I know you said on mobile. I didn't know you wanted to know that. Yeah, welcome, welcome. So those are the 2 tasks. I'm not even necessarily taking a vote. Yeah, we need snakes now for lore reasons. What do we have in the original game? Bat, rat, snake, and slime. Yeah, I think I'm going to go toward this one only because I think it might be a little faster. Also, I don't think my brain is really working properly today. So it's probably better to work on that than it is to work on the quest system right now. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's close out all these tabs. Snake is what kills our Skeleseller, though. Oh, that's what you mean by lore reasons, not the lore of the stream, the lore of the actual game, which I clearly do not have in my head right now. All right, so let's see what my plan was. It was make an animated sprite 2D in Battler, dynamically load in sprite frames. Everyone gets an animated sprite, even if it just means having a single frame for now. Make all enemy data. It would hold stats and a sprite frame. Wait, if I do that, then all instance data is going to just take in enemies. Maybe with levels. Number of enemies, enemy power, fortitude, life. I'm torn on how I want to do this because when it comes to game balance, it's just going to be quite a task. But let's say we had a list of 50 instances. The ones toward the end of the list are going to be higher level. The max level in the game is supposed to be like 20. So anyway, imagine if you're fighting level 20 enemies. The 2 ways we could decide stats for level 20 enemies are we could either just say what their stats are at level 20, or we could say what their stats start at and how they grow, and then and grow them to level 20. And this is what it did. This is how Idle Ascendance worked. We could actually, yeah, anyway, that's how that worked. So if I want to, I can instead just say 1 like bat and not this 10, 0, 100 thing here. But I need to say what level the bat would be. Did I have to move to work for Google or was it working from home? I started during the pandemic, so everybody was working from home. But then even once it became a return to office situation, I had a remote contract. And most of my team was in California and I live in Washington. So it would have been I don't know what it is, maybe like 2.5 hour flight or something. So I only went and visited the team a couple times. Hi, Abby. Well, I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But yeah, I think instances should probably define a level. I think we probably should have something like what we have for all adventurer data. The only thing I don't like is that I just specified all of this. Hi, cat. No, no, you're deleting stuff. All right, new buffer. I am in Washington. Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm currently defining all the stats. Let me copy paste this out so Abby doesn't delete all the code. Oh my goodness, you are really trying to stop me from doing this. Okay. There. Yeah, so right now we define it for every single level. She just clicked that. That wasn't even me. No, stop it. Stop it, cat. What's the cat's name? It's Abby. Hi. Yeah, you gonna scratch your ear over my keyboard? What a good girl. I just love this cat. Yeah, I don't want to specify 20 levels for every single enemy, but I also don't want to worry about the growth of them too much. So maybe what we do is we just set each enemy to a particular level. That might not be too bad. Can you sit down? Yes, good girl. Yeah, just purr into the microphone. Can you hear her purring? Probably the kind of thing that gets noise canceled out. Okay, will you let me do work, or are you going to try to bite at my wrist? For whatever reason, if I stick my wrist in her face when I'm trying to just use the keyboard, she gets like super mad. Yeah, yeah. She's not going to let me do anything. Abby. No purring. That's too bad. Come on. Do you want to sit over here? Do you want to stop getting in the way? Come on. Good girl. Now, sit down. Would you be mad if I put my wrist in your face? I mean, yes, but the wrists are attached to the petting devices. Oh, what a good girl you are. That's right. Now just sit patiently there. Yes. Oh. Okay. Now, now, stay. All right. As soon as she realizes I'm not petting her, she's like, "What? Why are they? Why are they over there? They should be on my head." Good, good. All right, yeah. I think that's what I want to do. I want to store stats based on a particular level at a time, and not worry about growth functions. Not worry about specifying like 20. Okay, now she's attacking my wrist. Oh, come on. Seriously? You can't see this, can you? It's not even that in her face right now. I just want to specify stats for a particular level. So there will just be a forest bat enemy. Yeah. Does the cat know I'm going on holiday? She does not know. We haven't gone anywhere yet. Apparently, animals can potentially make the connection between you having suitcases out and you leaving. Oh, goodbye. Okay, cool. I can get back to work. But she's never seen suitcases before. Not at least here. So she wouldn't know what that even means. All right, so animated sprite 2D in Battler. We will change the type of this to animated sprite 2D. We'll call this sprite. We'll set an animation of just loading in, I guess, like the fire animation or something. Do we have any animations I can load in? Assets, characters. No, not in there. I think somewhere we had it. Oh, wait, I think I know where it is. I think it's in, yeah, it's in the PR. I haven't merged yet. So what I'm trying to do is kind of stupid then, huh? All right, yeah, we should go merge a PR. All right, well, this is the only thing I've changed, right? And hiring an adventurer, which I don't really care about. And I haven't even... I haven't even saved this, so I could just not save this. Don't save. Okay, cool. Close out all that stuff. Some cats will urinate in the suitcases. Yeah, I hope she doesn't ever do that. But now I know. Yeah, I can save the sprite frames as a resource. I remember you doing that in the PR. This says I've got changes, but I just pushed. I must have made some other changes. Just don't leave them open. Yeah, I have to be careful about that. Okay. I think we can just merge this as is. Yeah. Okay. How do you conditionally enable the debug menu? Is it based on compilation arguments? There is this in Godot os.has featured debug. It's just a Boolean accessible from anywhere. And then when you export your builds, just make sure you don't put the debug flag in it. So in export, there's a menu. I probably can't show you quickly, but yeah, it says release or debug, and you just choose release. All right, I think we just merge this. Which means then I pull all of that, wait for it to be done. Good. Good. And now we've got the changes that I want to use. So if we load up, oh, we can't do it that way. If we load up, where's the bat? What? Game assets monsters bat. Oh, I thought it was in temp. Wait, what? Where did I read temp? Oh, this for the T-res. I don't think this is even correct. Yeah, no, I don't think it's in temp. I think it's in game assets monsters. Okay, well then we'll need to change that. T-res. Yeah, this. m/monsters. Did I get that right? Bat frame, bat sprite frames, yeah. But nothing's gonna use this yet. Abby. Oh, she's meowing. You could just sit here. You should sit here, cat. She's needed so much play lately. It's like it's taking a lot out of us. She just never wants to stop. All right, now here we can load in the bat. Good, save that. This doesn't autoplay? I guess it's the sprite that autoplays? No, it's the sprite frame that autoplays. So I should save this then. Do you have a doc summarizing feedback? No, it would be quite a lot of work to do that. And I just shared the feedback directly with Darkstorm and Quickie Joe. Other than the emails, I cut those out. But to summarize it for chat, yeah, there were like 44 responses. Hey, Orgnash. Not sure the autoplay is saved in the resource. Gotta check that. I'm not sure either. I guess we could just check the T-res file. Auto name default. Where does that get stored? Maybe battler? Okay, I guess it's saved in the sprite. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Darkstorm and Quickie Joe are working on it. Credits are there. Oh man, I've just been slow at everything today. All right, we did this. Dynamically load in sprite frames. So let's go make enemy data, which means adding in an enemy ID somewhere as well. We don't have an enemies folder. You want to come up? Yes, you do. Okay, can you sit now? Please, Abby. Please sit over here. She's just licking her foot. Real power move. If you ever want to intimidate someone, just go up to them and start licking your foot in front of them. Do we have any enemy stuff in here? No, I don't think so. All right, I'll make a new folder. Enemies. Okay, and we'll say this as enemy ID. Enemies. Cool. All right, let's make a forest bat. There. All right, now for the next thing, which is going to be what is an enemy data. Save this over here. Actually, this could just be a record struct, right? Record struct, yeah. All right, enemy data. All right, what do we want in here? Hold stats and sprite frames. Okay. What are the stats we had in all instance data? It was power, fortitude, max life. Okay, we're going to put all those in. And then the texture path, I guess. String, sprite, frames, path. Right, now this doesn't need the word enemy here everywhere, so we'll just delete that. And display name, I don't think you need a display name. I think it's probably fine. All right, looks good. Now we'll go make, just like we had all item data, we'll save this as all enemy data. Okay, just replace the word item with enemy and fix up the places where it's wrong. Enemies. Enemy ID looks good. And now we have forest bat, which is going to be a new thing that takes in the... Where's the T-res that we had here? Actually, I think we're going to delete this whole class. This isn't referred to anywhere right now. All right, that was my computer for anyone who just heard a trash sound. All enemy data. So this goes here. And then what was it? Power, fortitude, something? I guess I just copied the order so I can copy these too. So this is the forest bat, so it'll do exactly what we had there. What? No, that was correct. No argument correspond that requires that float question mark. What? What was the question mark? Parameter, huh? Do you not have trailing commas for that? Where do we use record structs other than that? No, yeah, I guess you don't, huh? Yeah. You gotta scroll over for it. Well, I think that was just because of error lens adding something like this and then being in the gutter for that, or the right gutter for that. All right, and then the only other thing we need here is it should be called enemies. And I think town does all the validations. Yeah, it does. All right, all enemy data. We'll do the same thing here. We'll add this to the... we have a test somewhere that does this. Oh, this doesn't find... Oh, it does. Okay, let's duplicate this. Oh, the quest thing should also be in town, I guess. All quest data dot validate all quests. All right, that'll be its own commit later. And then we put this in the test. Where are you, test? Yeah, so this is going to be all enemies. are initialized. Good. Kind of sort of following along. Yeah, all I'm doing right now is adding in a way that enemies can be specified in the game. And the way I like doing this is I like having an ID for whatever it is I'm defining, and these can just be some enumeration somewhere. So imagine if you had fruits in the game, you'd have an enumeration for something like apple, banana, and why can't I think of something that starts with C? They're all vegetables. I don't know. Coconut. There we go. Yeah, so you'd have something like that, and then you'd actually have the data somewhere else, maybe like imagine like a juiciness and a cost and a whatever else, and that way you could just say apple points to a juiciness of whatever 6 and a cost of $1.50 or something like that. So that's all we're doing with enemies. Now a whole bunch of stuff says that it's unread, but I don't know how this started happening because I didn't modify. Oh, maybe it does think this was modified. No, what is going on here? Something is amiss. Something is definitely amiss here. I don't know what happened. I'm sure data hasn't changed. Why is it complaining? I didn't even modify this file, did I? Oh, it deleted the record from this? Are you kidding me? Well, then that's probably what's happening here too. Oh man, it is. Ah, jeez. That was Steve. Have you seen appleratings.com? Oh, this is the best website. I go to this 6 times per day. All right, so my favorite apples are Fuji, which is in the barely worth it category. But they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. I think Honeycrisp are also good. Yeah, Honeycrisp are 95. But I don't think this site is just wrong. Granny Smith, 57. Still apparently better than Fuji here. Opal, 82. And what's the other one? Envy, 86. Okay, your family's pretty highly rated, 84 average. It's better than my family, which is a barely worth it family. Out of context, that sounds really bad. Yeah, remember when the stream was about honey sticks? Remember when I ordered 500 of those? Haven't done that in a long time. All right, so all enemy data. We've only pasted in this one. I guess we should probably add in the other ones, then modify all instance data. Man, that is bothering me to no end. I think I'm pressing enter twice, which I think is the cat's fault. Just getting cat hair all over my keyboard. I'm blaming it on her. Make all instance data, just take in enemy IDs and know what to do with them. So that's good. Specify stats for a particular level. Yep. Make debug, skeleton, and bat at first. I don't even really care to do this. Okay, next up, all instance data should just take in which enemies spawn. And for now, we're just going to take in an enemy ID. Enemy ID, enemy ID. Cool. Delete all these. Import that correctly. Now these change. We should probably make dungeon bat and volcano bat. Dungeon bat, volcano bat. 1, 2. All instance data. Actually, all enemy data. Okay. Dungeon and volcano. All right, so the stats of the first one are that, and the stats of the next one, that. Well, that shouldn't happen. I really shouldn't have Command Q be part of a shortcut. It's Control K, or it's Command K, Command Q, but Command Q closes the app. So if I ever miss the Command K, then it just quits VS Code. I think it's the default shortcut too, which makes even less sense. Okay, so if we just search for new here and do, whoops, not like that, like this. No, not like that either, like that. There we go. Then we can do enemy ID dot forest bat. Okay, and dungeon and volcano. And then import that. Cool. Now, where do we use instance data? Should hopefully only be from one place, right? Create enemy battlers gets us the enemies and all that stuff. And instance manager gets us what? The maximum number of adventurers. And what's this used for? The drops. Okay, yeah. So we need it here. So we use this down below. This stuff all needs to change. We're going to get the enemy data. Enemy ID. Actually, just get the data. Yeah. All right, this is life, power, and fortitude. Done. What does validate all keys do? It does this. So it takes in a dictionary and makes sure that each key in the dictionary is defined based on a list that we have. Yeah, check against the enumeration. Yep, that's it. So are you still kind of abstracting all the systems out? I am changing some of what already exists. I wouldn't really say this is abstracting systems out exactly. We had originally, right here. So we originally had enemy stats just hard-coded right here, like 10, 0, 100. And there are a couple of reasons why this isn't great to do, but you got to start somewhere. And this made sense for just moving forward. But now what I want to do is I want to replace this with a reference to an enemy. And the enemy itself is going to store the stats. So yeah, we've just done that. Then when it comes to using these stats, we needed to go modify that. That was done over here. So at the bottom of this, we used to get it just right from the instance, but now it comes from an enemy. So this is a better way of doing things than just, spewing a whole bunch of data in one spot and one spot only. Refactor how we make this to use all enemy data. Eventually we need to reconcile the differences of how we make players. Yep. Enemies should pay out when they die. We haven't done that yet. All right, so the only other thing we're missing here is that the battler has an alive texture, which is not going to be the case anymore. I guess for enemies, we're going to add in the animated sprite. Yeah, it would be a little different doing things in Unreal. I think the thing that's in common is you generally don't hard code values, no matter what kind of coding you're doing, unless it's very, very low level stuff where maybe you, to not hard code would be to have more data in memory somewhere. But yeah, don't hard code values and yeah, don't throw everything in one place. It's kind of general rules. So this stuff is going to have to change. We currently pass in a texture 2D and we're going to need sprite frames. Eventually though, players are also going to be animated. So we should probably just make those. It's hard to learn where to put everything. The nice thing is that it doesn't matter too much until you actually run into a problem with it. So let's say you did put enemy data right into your dungeons or whatever. It's like, that could be fine for the lifespan of whatever game you're making. And if it is, then who cares, right? But now let's say you're trying to split it up across different teams. There's one team making the dungeons, there's another team making the enemies. Well, now you probably want those things to be split. But yeah, if you're working on a hobby project and it's not a concern for you, then it's not a concern for you. All right, I put this in here, but we don't have animated players. And I guess let's go, where are the players? Oh, I put them in temp. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Well, for now, let's also put these in temp because I don't plan on doing a real thing here. So I'll make a sprite frames and we'll add in mage. How do we save this? I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right, we want to call this mage.tres, I guess. Mage. Okay, same thing with rogue. New resource. Rogue. Cool. And then the last one is the warrior. Resource, sprite frame, warrior. Okay, so we should be able to pass all those things in now. I guess technically that should go into adventurer data. This is all gonna have to change. Yep, exactly what Capillara said. If you ever go back to a project you worked on, even probably a year ago or 2 years, or yeah, you'll see how much you've grown as a developer. And ideally, you see some changes. If you don't see anything you would have done differently, that's probably a sign that something's wrong, unless you've been using the same technology and language for many years. But especially when you're starting out as a developer, the difference between 1 year and 5 years is gigantic. And then the difference between 5 and 10 years should still probably be pretty large. So this texture path should change, because right now we're taking in temp/warrior.png. This still needs to be tres now. Yeah, Broken Crown does everything right the first time. Not the rest of us, though. So now we're not taking in a texture 2D. We're just taking in a string sprite frames path. All right. This doesn't need to be here, I think. Oh, what am I doing here? When does a nick get called? I think nick gets called before ready. Yeah. But I don't think there's a reason for that. So I think we'll just change the order of these. That way we don't need to store these off. Well, the dead texture is used to modify the sprite, right? Yeah, we're probably going to change that. Hey, Jeff. Because I really liked over engineering. I think it's easy to get into that state for a while. I really think there is a trade-off between code quality and just getting a project done that's worth considering. And yeah, I used to spend a lot longer doing things and then refactoring systems, and I think it's just as bad to try to aim for perfection as it is to try to never aim for anything good enough and then find yourself constantly struggling with systems. That's where I think it's good to know how to make things right the first time around. And that's where experience helps. Yeah, so the dead texture, let's just ignore for now. I don't even know what I just did. Who knows? Yeah, let's ignore the dead texture for now. I eventually want to use it, but I want to use it for players, so let's delete that. And then in here, we'll get the sprite. Sprite dot. Is it considered texture? I don't think it is it? It's sprite frames. Sprite underscore frames. Yeah, so I need that. Sprite frames. Wait, you can't do that? Oh, because this is a sprite 2D. Yeah, right. It's supposed to be an animated sprite 2D. And instead of texture, the path is actually just sprite now. All right, now we should have a sprite frames here, right? Sprite frames? What do they call this? Oh, wait, I think I'm gonna quit this. We're just gonna load this up again. Don't get me started on microservices. Are you for or against them right now? I want to get you slightly started on it. Ah, now it's working. There. So we don't have an alive texture anymore. All right, then update rendered texture. We're just going to say as a no op for now. gd.print something should happen here. How are we looking? Yeah, this is probably going to work. So now what am I missing here? Init? Init isn't called correctly, I think. Texture 2D. This, we're not passing in a texture anymore, we're just passing in a path. And down here, the same thing. Texture, what was texture even set to? Monster texture? Okay, we're going to delete that. Maybe delete this. This is now going to be enemy data dot texture or path or whatever it is that. Okay, let's go test that out. Mostly against it unless it's really needed. Hey, look at that. We got an animated bat enemy. Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay, so I had a bunch of other tasks here. Enemies should just fade out when they die. Players should turn into the bone pile graphic. For now, we can just base what happens on the team. There can even be a bone pile sprite specifically for players that we just show and hide, and it won't be used for enemies. Yeah. So is there... There is a case where this might matter. And I keep talking about this, but there might be a revive spell in the game. There isn't. So it's kind of weird to talk about it like there might be if we don't have one. But for players, like I could definitely see that working. For enemies, I don't know. If an enemy is dead and then fades out, it doesn't make sense that you'd be able to revive it. If an enemy is dead and turns into like a bone pile or something, then it maybe makes sense that you could revive it. So, do enemies ever need to revive? And I think if they do, then we just change what we do then. Yeah. What do I think about microservices? I think that it's like any other structure of doing things, and that, yeah, there can be benefits for it and benefits for not doing it. I think for Botland, I went with the microservices route, and it added a lot of overhead for no real benefit, which is kind of a shame. But I think there are some nice things about doing it that way. I think it's easier to reason about an app than it is to reason about, or I guess a microservice, than it is to reason about an entire gigantic collection of them all. What's the game about? The game is about selling stuff. You can check out a lot more in that FAQ. You can also, I guess, just play the game if you want to. Yeah. If you have more microservices than users, perhaps you have too many. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's like optimizing an application. If you optimize before you actually need to optimize, then you're potentially putting time into doing something that's worthless. Because if you never have users, it doesn't matter if your app was the slowest thing or the fastest thing in the world. And if you can't get users because of the performance problems, then okay, you've identified a need. Now it's not premature. But yeah, I think it's probably the same thing with the overall service architecture. Start with just whatever simple, makes sense, works for your current requirements. And if you have 0 users, your current requirements are probably going to all fit onto one VM somewhere. And then, yeah, once you get more people, change it up. How'd you do the emoji autocomplete? That's from Espanso. Yeah, Galactus knows our birthdays. So yeah, if you ever see me type stuff like this. Although I use that for everything. I use that for all sorts of things I type. All right, so the bone pile graphic. Let's just add another child sprite 2D, and we'll call this bone pile. And at least adventurers will turn into a bone pile. Now, where is the bone pile? Here it is. Done. I think there's an H flip here somewhere. H flip. Where are you, flip? Where do we flip things? Why was the... Wait, did enemies always, maybe every bone pile always just faced left? I guess it doesn't really matter which direction it faces. But given that this is probably going to be for players, we should probably just flip this now. Where do you flip things? I can never find this. Flip. There we go. Yeah. All right, so now this is going to be a sprite 2D. Sprite 2D. We're just going to call it bone pile sprite. Oh yeah, and set this to invisible by default. All right, don't take in a dead texture. Don't save a dead texture. Actually, you know what? Maybe we just set this to hide there. That way we can see it in the editor. Sometimes that's nice. Sometimes it's not. Doesn't really matter too much. Let's put it behind this. Probably look a little bit weird. So if you're dead, then this dot visible equals not is alive, and your main sprite dot visible is that you're alive. Now the inits of this are going to be broken because we don't need a dead texture. Yep. Anything else that's unused? I feel like there should be one other line. Yep, there it is. Cool. Have to, you keep at it. Just keep asking me. Someday there will be a different answer. How's it going though? It adds a month or two of learning curve. Yeah, I think there are some benefits though to it. It lets you parallelize development a little bit more easily. Now that you spend quite some time with Godot, what are your thoughts? I like it. I don't feel like Godot gets in the way of much. I think making tile maps does not seem to be the easiest in Godot. Like just physically drawing them. I feel like that's easier in an external tool. But the external tool could export to Godot. And then yeah, a lot of other things are, I think, pretty reasonable. That was expensive. Hello, full depth. Yeah, all right, let's check this out now. Okay, that bone pile should not be visible, and the enemy is not visible, which means we have messed up two things. Oh, one of them is that I never actually got the bone sprite, did I? Nope. Bone sprite. This is called what? Bone pile? What did I call it? I just call it bone pile. There we go. Then update rendered texture. We don't really need to do that, I guess. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, so there's no way to tell if this is going to work because we only have one player here. So we need to hire another adventurer and have them die. And then enemies, I guess, will also turn into a bone pile for now, but we might change that. Either way, you can't tell anything that's going on because we need to have another adventurer. So now I don't know if we die or not here. I'm not sure what happens. Looks like we're winning. I just need one of these to die. I guess if this dies, it might turn into a bone pile, yeah. But I don't want that to happen eventually. I just want one of the player characters to die. But this third battle will definitely kill him. Look at those palette swap bats. They're just modulated. All right, this thing's about to die. Yes, bone pile. Cool. What am I using Alt-Tab? That is one of the programs that I mentioned over here somewhere. Yeah, it's literally called Alt-Tab. I guess the enemies are randomized. Why did I? Getting rid of that. Our monster texture. These I don't think are used anymore. No. nor is that one. Yeah, so I think this whole class can go away now. But do I want to use the monster texture? I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. All right, that's my computer doing that. Learning so much new stuff about Mac OS. Yeah. Yeah, Espanto is great. If you don't get anything else, I think just getting this is really good. Because chances are there's something you type that you're annoyed by typing, and you can just shorten it to 3 or 4 characters and then just press a key and have it expand. So I find that great. Even just for emojis, I think it's great. In fact, if there's ever not an emoji now, I usually just go make one so that I've got practically every emoji here. Expected me to use NeoVim. I just really, really like VS Code. I'm sure I would also really like NeoVim, but there's just no real reason to switch. Yeah, Espanto is cross-platform. I use it on... Actually, I guess I only really use it on Mac right now. But yeah, you could use it on Linux or Windows. I don't really use a Windows machine anymore other than to game. And on Linux, Linux is mostly just when I'm SSH into machines. And actually, this is the machine doing the SSHing. And that's why using Espanto is really nice, because if I SSH into my mini PC, for example, I can still type something like K for Kubernetes. And it doesn't matter that the destination machine doesn't have it, because this is all running on the current machine right now until I press enter. Yeah, common snippets. Yep. That's definitely good. Yeah, thanks, Slack. Yeah, I think it's really important that your computer isn't getting in the way. It's like when someone asked, hey, how do you feel about Godot? Faceless, I think. And I said, it's not getting in the way. That's a good thing, even though I made it kind of sound like a neutral thing. But I think it should be the same with your computer. You should be able to do everything you want to do and not have to think about it too much. And ideally, too, that even comes down to things like typing. I'm not using Kubernetes for anything right now. I just happen to have it in case I need to type it in a span. So, but actually, when I do use Kubernetes, I just alias it to K anyway. So I just type something like K, whatever, version. All right, enemies should fade out when they die. Let's take a look at that. So Battler, does Battler know its own team? No, but it could get it. Yeah, I don't want this to be here, I think. On death handle, update render texture. Let me think about this. Do we want to just delete the battler altogether? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to slowly fade them out and then delete them altogether. So I think we do need to know what team we're on here. We have a battle team component. Yeah. Equals get if btc dot team dot if you're the enemy team. Actually, how about this? If you're the player team, then we'll set the bone pile sprite to be visible or not. Then in the battle system, whenever there's a battler that died, dead battlers, we'll check here, battle team component. And if it's the enemy, whoops. If it's the enemy, then we'll start a tween on this thing. Yeah, which we'll get from floating text. Okay. All right, there's going to be battler.create tween. Tween is going to control this thing's modulate A to be 0 over the course of 1 second. As for easing, and I don't know. I'm just going to pick these two. Yeah, cool. All right, let's try that out. See what happens. Oh, this should probably be handled by the battler itself. Yeah, but still, let's try it. ECS is just a custom thing that I made for Godot, or not for Godot, for this particular game. So it's not built into Godot. If there's a dot, make the dot damage numbers have the color of their source type. I think depending on the effect, I think that could be good. We haven't finished polishing anything. Wow, she's super soft right now. Why are you so soft? Okay. Okay, you sit down now. I have work to do. Oh, whoop, she fell. You're so adorable. All right, I want to test this out. I can't reach my keyboard anymore. There's a cat body in the way. Hey, Zoe. Come on. Don't sit on the keyboard. Let me code. All right, what was I going to do? I was going to go to the instance data. Actually, I guess the instance itself. Wherever we make something based on the enemy count. No, no, she's looking at my hand. And then we need to make it so that enemies die easily. All enemy data. This is super dangerous, by the way. I haven't saved this code and the cat is on my keyboard. It's only a matter of time before she shuts down and deletes all of my revision history. Okay, let's set him to do maybe like 1 damage and have 10 life. Tread carefully, kitty. Oh, cool. Do you see that? They faded out. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. I wonder if we should keep the life bars on them, though, even as they're fading out. That would probably be good. So we put this here. Yeah, that way you see the red life bar also fade out. I know there are 10 errors. I got to fix those. Okay, let's try again. Is it really any... Is it... I can't even tell if this is working or not. No, it doesn't... I just do. I wasn't even controlling the right thing. Yeah, that doesn't matter. That's not what I wanted. She's licking my finger. What a good girl. All right, toggle life bar visibility. I think I want both of these into... Come on, my finger's gonna get raw doing that. Good girl. Here, show everyone your cutie little head. Good. Actually being very good right here. Nope, she just pawed at my face in OBS. Never seen her do that before. Very interactive stream cat. I kind of want to do the same thing over here based on the life bar. The life bar only becomes invisible for the player, right? Yeah, in fact, I'll just put this down here then. There. All right, that should work. So I got to fix these errors, and then I got to take a break. I don't think this is even obvious. It's not really obvious, right? Wait, why is their life bar not lowering at all? It's green the whole time. Why is that happening? It's got 10 life. What is going on there? Take care, Capillara. Hey, Manakis. And yeah, thank you. I hope it is a good time. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Thanks for gifting subs too. Have a good night. All right, how did I mess this up? Let's find out. Health component. Actually, something needs to update the life bar. Oh, that's probably what the errors are. Is that we can't update the life bars? Value cannot be null. Where are you? 54. Oh, this should say get component or null. But how is this even a problem? Why would anything not have a battle team component? Every battler gets a battle team component. Oh, because this is done before then. All right, fine. Team and abilities. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, we got to change this around then. Get node. All right, yeah, I want this stuff up here. I want all of this stuff in a knit. You're headed to the Netherlands, let me know. Oh yeah, I would definitely, yeah. There are people I will let know if I go certain places. If I go to the Netherlands, I'm telling all the duchies. But it's not the Netherlands. I'll say that much. Also, from what I understand, well, I know you wanted to go to bed, so I'm just saying this to general people now. And if Capilara happens to hear, then great. From what I understand, the Netherlands is super tiny compared to the U.S., and that you can cross the whole country in like some small number of hours. Distance across country. I don't know what I even search for to find this. Chat GPT. Okay, let's see. How long does it take to drive across the Netherlands? Time is dependent on the specific route and traffic conditions. Driving from the northern end to the southern end is about 186 miles. Yeah, that's very tiny. That's like 45 countries equals one. Yeah, but it's like 1 to 1 in terms of states practically. Yeah, anyway, totally different time scales. And, I read stories online every once in a while where people are like, oh, yeah, my parents came to the US and they thought, oh, we'll just drive from New York to California. And it was like, no, you won't. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that fixed it. All right. So, question, is it good to show that red bar while it's fading out, or should we just not show any bar? I kind of don't like it. Yeah, I kind of want it to just hide no matter what now. Back when I didn't know what was going on. So if we put this here, now it'll fade out always. Or no, it won't even exist. Wait, I didn't even see it fade. What's going on? I must be breaking something. I'm not breaking something. What happened to the fade out? Is it fading out? I don't... Let me make this happen over 5 seconds. I don't think something was going right there, but I don't know what. No, yeah, it's definitely just disappearing. Okay, I know what I did wrong now. Yeah. I am making the sprite invisible. That shouldn't be done. The sprite should still be visible. It should just fade out afterward. There we go. I mean, I set it to 5 seconds, which I think looks bad now. So let's set it back to 1 second. And then I think we're good. Yeah, I think it looks nice. Okay. All right, enemies fade out. Players turn in the bone pile. Delete that. Done. Intuitivity, dynamic, load that in. Everyone gets that. Yep, looks good. In the future, we may want specialized enemies, in which case we would make special scenes for those with their own scripts to control particle systems, death effects, etc. But if a scene path isn't specified, then we'll just use the animated sprite 2D route. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think this is pretty good. Well, we gotta check this stuff in. I'm gonna take a break though before I do that. Yeah. I'll take a quick break, but it's just where I left off. Clean up the commit I was working on. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hey again. Oh yeah, I never zoomed in. Close the game. All right, time to clean up the commit I'm working on. Fought until my last breath. I didn't see the ending. What place did you come in? Oh man, Abby's going nuts. I really wanted to stream for long today, but she just starts going crazy. She wants playtime. Okay, that looks good. Gotta at least check this stuff in. That looks good. This was good until I deleted whatever the stats were. Oh, good. I just divided by 10. Okay, good. Done with that. Add hats to Jump Royale. Where would you get the hats from, though, or would you make them yourself? Because I know there were a lot of difficulties with keeping the hat in the right spot, but I see. Figure it out. All right, this stuff looks good. Good, good, good. Yeah, this, I don't know if this should be here. This is that when the enemy is dead. Oh, you know what? All we're doing is we're fading them out. They still exist. Then I guess we could just do this in the death thing, right? There we go. Oops, not even that. There. And this and this. Cool. We could queue free at the end of this. That's probably smart to do, but I'm not even going to do that yet. This will just fade out, but the battler will still exist. Yeah, I think that's good. Set modulate. Okay, yeah. Instance. All right, cleaned up a little bit of this, but not too much. Oh, hello again. Hello, Professor Meow Meow. Can I get the control key, please? Oh, you don't like that, do you? No. Hey, sentient being. I hypothetically was running into a connection closed before message completed error. How to go about solving this? Been ignoring it for too long. You'd have to tell me probably much more, almost to the point where I just need to like look through your code. So yeah, it's hard to say. Good girl. Yeah, I gotta play with her soon. All right, I want to just check in this one line. Can I do that, or does that not work? Yeah, validate all quests. Okay. Call the. Whoop, 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 whoop. She's biting in my hand. Discord bot connecting. No, 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 no. Stop typing messages with your butt. Cat. Discord bot connecting to Firebase database. I would probably Google that. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what's going on. There's got to be some connection open to Firebase, well, Firestore, I think it's called. And yeah, that must be closing while an operation is in process. All right, can I get this again? She's like swiping in my hand. What? I'm trying to just use my keyboard. It's like not at all aggressive. Cat, this is called computer science. Validate quests at startup. Okay, what? She thinks I'm playing with her. I really don't get it though. She like never tries playing with my hand. I don't know if she's trying to get me to pet her or what. Okay, good girl. So validate quests at startup. That was its own entire commit. This looks good. This is going to change in the future too, by the way. There's just enemy ID right now, but in the future we'll probably have some like special way of generating what each instance does. And I don't know how we might do that. We could have a system for picking things from a list. Maybe there are rare enemies. Maybe they're just set rooms of stuff. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah. Wait, except for something at the bottom there look weird. No, that was fine. Oh yeah, I'd already reviewed that. Okay, cool. I think this is all good. Let's test it one more time. Close out of that, close out of that. Why did that die so fast? Uh-oh. What happened? It just disappeared immediately. Update rendered texture. Is this called like all the time? Oh, I see. This is not it died. Okay, so then we need to command Z some of this stuff. Yeah, whatever. I'll just copy paste this out of here. Put this here, set this to enemy. There. Actually making all these playful wavy finger motions. I'm like a wizard. The cat sees it as a spell. Must engage. I don't know what the rogue is going to do for quick strike. It's just such a fast ability that I think it's just got to show some like super quick swipe action. Yeah. A wizard with a fix, yeah. If only. And I do have notes about a lot of different errors I've encountered in different software, but maybe I even have something for that. I haven't used Firebase in like 4 years. It's it's possible if we look for connection closed. Is there a Firebase thing here? No, I don't think so. I don't even think any of that's in this notebook. Maybe it is. No, yeah. I don't happen to have it. So add enemy animated sprites. The only one we have right now is the bat. Also, this makes player sprites animated as well. But since I didn't feel like loading the right frames in, it's just a single image. I'm guessing you're leaving Broken Crown. Take care, and thank you for the vacation wishes. Yeah. Yeah, there's so much I want to do on Skeleseller. And I think we built up some good momentum, and I think everything's on track. Yeah. So I think it'll be good when I get back. Just be ready to work again. Okay. So I'm not going to start the quest system. I will write in the journal right now. That is not what I meant to do. So worked on a projectiles, effects, and animated enemy sprites. Is this the last stream before vacation? Yeah. Yeah. Then about a month from now, I'll resume streams again. And then it's full throttle forward on checkpoint number 2. Although we do have a couple other things in the schedule. I haven't done interviews in a little while. And yeah, we'll get back to mentoring and interviews shortly after I get back. That doesn't sound right, though. Oh, maybe I gave myself like an extra week? Yeah, June 26th. I must have. I didn't know how the month would go. Have a fun time. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think just sort of how all this stuff's gonna go. But yeah, I'm not super worried about any of it. Except for kind of the music a little bit. Did I learn anything? Learn anything working on Skeleseller? Like in the last month? Going for a whole month? That's a long time. I think I'm gone for 3 weeks or something, but uh it aligns with the weekend and I wanted to give myself some time kind of post vacation to catch up. You're supposed to be learning live. Yeah, I've actually debated on should I change my name at some point. But I don't know. This year is going to be game dev, but maybe next year will be something else. And if it is something else, maybe the name Adam Learns fits a little bit better then. No, I wouldn't change back to Adam 13531. And I don't like the idea of rebranding, but yeah, we'll have to see. All right, so in instance, we create adventurers and we create battlers, and they're very similar. So I want to find a way to make these two things be the same again. Yeah, so let's do this. Oh, interesting. I didn't even need to copy that. And we're going to just make a new function here. Actually, let's just modify the current one. So this takes in a list of adventurers so that it can do what? So that it can set that it's in battle. Does it use this for anything else? Yeah, it gets the adventurer class and then some stats and everything. Yeah. Adam already knows everything. Slightly too long for Twitch, but would be good. Yeah, I agree. I do think it's pretty hard to do things and not learn something, even if you feel like you already know a lot. And yeah, I don't feel like there's been any specific learning pushes for a lot of this, but yeah, I've learned about different aspects of Godot, of C Sharp, of I don't know, everything, GitHub projects. Again, Juicebox Hero. You just missed it. You just missed the one reason to watch my stream. Now there's no reason. So what we could do here is we could make the battlers and just not instantiate their life, health, or whatever, life stats, etc., abilities. And do that separately. Is there anything else I do in creating the enemies? Yeah. Battle team component, update render texture, health component, etc. New abilities get passed in. Joe. Who's Joe and how are they going to help you here? All right, I can see how I would end up doing this. I don't exactly think it's the best idea to change this right now. But there is a lot of duplicated code. I mean, I'm the reason why this is duplicated. Where is yeah, here it is. Okay, let's see how it goes. We'll make private collection battler create battlers. So something needs to know how many of these to make. And we're just going to create kind of empty shell battlers, I guess. Is this even worth it? Maybe I should just take out the positioning logic. Yeah, that's probably smarter. Joe was telling me to take a break. It might happen, it might not. Although it probably won't happen. I'll probably stream for another like 45 minutes or so. But then the cat's been going a little bit nuts. And I feel like it'd be irresponsible of me as a cat owner to keep streaming. Should play with her for like an hour and feed her. Hey, Purple Elf, welcome in. I hope Quits is here again. How's your stream? How's everyone doing? We just launched, Purple Elf also rated on Friday, so I'm probably mostly telling people things they already know, but we just launched the first checkpoint of this game on Friday and is now playable on itch. Well, you have to download it. And today is the last day before a somewhat long vacation. It is May 20th, and I'm going to be gone until probably like June 17th. That'll be the next stream. So you come in just toward the end. I'm glad to hear it was good. I'm doing well. I've been very excited about the game, excited about just taking some time as well. I think it's just generally an exciting time in my life. I'm really looking forward to working on some of these other features and making the changes we need for the next checkpoint. There is something somewhere. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, this. This says some of the differences that'll be happening over the next few months. And I don't know how much of this is going to happen for the next checkpoint that we release. Like, we might not have saving and loading yet, although we probably should. But yeah, lots more just stuff. I'll probably start working on some music. Yeah. The quests will hopefully be in the game. Yeah, there's quite a lot here. But oh well. Just came back from vacation. I haven't shared where I'm going yet. I'll probably share after I'm back where I went. But for whatever reason, I just feel hesitant to share where I'm about to go. That's smart. I've heard horror stories before of people who publicize where they're going and then people show up at the airport or something. And I don't think that's going to happen. But for whatever reason, yeah, I'll just wait. Yeah, it is a different celestial body. I'll give you that much. And it's not Venus. So that leaves pretty much two bodies it could possibly be. All right, yeah, positioning logic. Let's pull this out. So we have the row, the column here, and then we set the position. Is offset something that gets modified? Oh, I see. Okay, so I'll make a private, what do I want to do? Position vector 2, get position of battler. So we need to take in the index, battler index. We need to know what team they're on. And we need, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that might be it. Let's try that. Has to be North Dakota. Is North Dakota a different celestial body? Like way north of South Dakota? All right, can we even do this? I think we might be able to. I% 3 divided by 3 times 2. Starting position is 3 times 1. Is that even a thing? Where did this come from? Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks good. And this is probably also fine. Yeah. Maybe that'll just work. All right, let's try plugging this in now. So we don't need the starting position anymore because that was only used for this positioning thing. So let's delete that. And then let's put these things in here. Battle.position equals get. And we just pass in all the right things. Done. Delete, 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 delete. Cool. And we do the same thing down here. Delete all of that. Set this to enemy. All right, let's try it out. I hope I didn't accidentally save that there are 9 enemies in a battle, although that would help us test this. So let's see what happens here. That sounds about right as a non-American. There's this website called Sporkle, which is actually pretty fun. It's got a bunch of quizzes, and one of them is the US states. Yeah, and I think, is this one I'm thinking of? Yeah. So you hit play quiz, and all you have is this. You just have a text input. And you don't need to say where each state is. So if you type something like Washington, it'll put it on the map in the correct spot. And I'll just say that I am not able to get all 50 most of the time. There's some where I'm just like, I just don't think about these states ever. Yeah, if you got 37 and you're not an American, that's really good. Now I can list more Pokemon by percentage than I probably could states by percentage. Which, ooh, I probably shouldn't be sharing this. But that's my life. It's a fun quiz, by the way. I recommend that people try that out at some point. The same quiz, but for the entire world. I've tried one, but I'm very, very bad at that. Like, embarrassingly bad. All right, we do have a name of the battlers. I don't really think we need this. And do we set this for the other one? No, we don't. Yeah, I don't think this hurts to have, though. I also don't really think we need the adventurer class in here. All right, so these things can go up here. Oh, wait, no, but we need the adventurer class. Cool. Don't care about that. Battle to adventurer, then copy over the abilities and stuff. Get adventurer data so that we can do what? Get the texture. Okay. Do you remember by chance how much I scored? I don't remember how much I scored on either one. With the States one, I want to say it was in the 40s, which is a large enough range, but that makes me feel not so bad. And with the countries one, it was probably abysmal. I probably just gave up after some time. All right, I think I started this up, but then I didn't actually test anything beyond the first one. So we got to test at least all three of these. So grant money, hire adventurer. First battle looks good. Second battle looks good. Third battle, that looks good. Cool. I'm happy enough with that. I think it's fine. We should have cut out a few lines of code. It's now, yeah, 17 lines shorter. That's good enough for now. Yeah. Cut out some, or refactor positioning code. Done. All right. So make a debug function to unlock all the battles, or maybe just make a start level 3 battle that gives you 3 adventurers without you needing to click a bunch of buttons. Yeah, this is what I want to use the debug system for in the future. We have this special debug menu here. And one of the other changes we need to make, just file bugs on both of these things. One is to add a background to that dialogue. It's really hard to read. And I don't know the right way to do it. Add a background to the debug menu. There should be a completely opaque background on the debug menu. That way it doesn't overlap with the other buttons on the screen. Yeah, we just put that into there. Note that I don't know the best way to do this. It may require a script to keep the size of the background synchronized with the VBox container size. Yeah, milestone is kind of whenever, but it'd be nice to have kind of soon, I guess. And let's create that. So that's good. The next thing was debug function lock all the battles. Hey, Sphere4ya. You know, I went and checked out the raid that you had done last time, and I think you said, like, oh, Adam raided us, and we never got a chance to raid him back. I think you actually had raided me before that. But either way, thank you for what I think is now your third raid. And welcome in, everybody. Hey, Colin Q. I am working on Skeleseller. I'll pretty much be working on this the rest of the year. The only other things you'll probably see me doing are mentoring and interviewing, and those will be very sporadic. But yeah, this particular game, if you're interested in any of this stuff, feel free to type these commands. I mean, I'll type them in the chat so that people don't have to feel shy about it. But they're all the commands that tell you more about this stuff. The game I'm working on is technically playable, although every day that passes is another day that the version on itch is not going to resemble what I'm currently developing. And we're not so far past this now, but one of the changes I did just make today is we now have projectiles in the game, but only one ability uses them. So you can see these fireballs are shooting and like they're properly working. And eventually more abilities will have this, or at least have an animation or something. So I'm happy with that. And we also changed the position of enemies. We added in the bat graphic. I forgot about that. And there was something else we did today. What was it? I think that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, that's right. When you burn an enemy, it can now actually put a graphic on them indicating that they're burning. So watch that one. There's now a little fire graphic there, and it goes away after some time. Assuming it doesn't get hit again. Just keeps getting hit. Why is the mage only targeting that one? All right, there we go. Now that should go away, right? Yeah, nice. I lose the battle. So yeah, that's a brief intro into what's going on here. And like I said, that'll probably be the case for most of the time this year. I may switch to doing something else every once in a while, but it's just mostly going to be Skeleseller stuff. right, so debug function to unlock the rest of the battle. Let's add that in. Add a debug function to... Actually, this might not be needed when we... Yeah, it might not be needed, and I wonder if I should just add it in now. What we have in this menu is a function for winning and losing battles. But by default, you can't just start a level 3 battle. And it would be nice to do something like give us some money, give us the 3 adventurers that we start with, unlock all the battles. Maybe there should be a debug button that's like grant most things. Yeah, that's what we should do. Make a grant most things debug button. So most of the time we want to test a specific scenario. And lots of those scenarios involve unlocking several different things in the game. We should make a grant most things button that hires 3 adventurers, unlocks all available battles, grants some money, upgrades the storeroom 10 times, upgrades the shops a few times. What else? Hires a few workers. Yeah. This can just be done whenever. Yeah, show me the money kind of cheat. Well, we already have a show me the money in the game. We can just use this debug menu and click grant money. And there I've got 624,000. But then we need to click the other buttons like, all right, now level up a bunch of times and now go upgrade the storeroom and now hire a bunch of workers. And then we need to complete the battles in order. It'd be nice to just have one button that does all of that stuff. I forgot to mention this here, but it should level up the adventurers too, I think. Levels up the adventurers 5 times. Yeah. Okay. And then this change, turn Cloak of Shadows into a single buff that can remove the power and dodge buffs when it's done. Can also add a transparency component with an alpha based on its level. And there's a transparency system. I'm gonna hold off on that for now. What was this comment? Does indeed point to a problem. Quest should probably know its own ID. It's minor. Yeah. Make sure to make quests aware of their own IDs based on this comment. Yeah. All right. I wonder if Twitch is still doing this thing. I reported the bug earlier today, but I got back something saying, hey, have you tested this in all the different browsers and everything? And yeah, it's still happening. Oh, man. I wonder, you know what I didn't try? What happens if I just edit this so that the button is clickable? How do I do this? Looking for the div with the text in it. Whoops. Give me a sec. Let's try that again. I think it might be this div. No, it's not. I don't see one with actual text content here. Huh. Must be something overlaid on top of it. No, but it's all inside this container. Weird. I wonder what has that yeah, I don't see it. Send a post request update. I don't know what post request it would be though, because the save button doesn't work unless this is actually valid, and it can't be valid. Or you know what? Maybe it could be valid. Maybe I didn't test this. What happens if you click the dates I want and then hit save? Oh, maybe that'll work. I guess I'll do this. No, I can't though. Wait, save lit up though for a second. How did it light up? Oh, come on. Twitch. Juicebox here, are you there? Can you report a bug for me? Oh, man. Save. Okay, apparently that's saved. So I can change one date at a time. Oh, yeah, it worked. All right. Oh, but I can't save that. And it sets the... Wait, it just picked the date correctly, too. What is going on? Oh, weird. It's now totally fixed. What? All right, cool. Well, I set my vacation properly. Does it still happen? What? Yeah, there. It's happening again. I don't know. Okay, this is it. I don't know what causes this to repro then exactly or how I managed to complete it, but great. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to type in the details for the final bug report. I really should. I should respond to that email, but it's going to take time to get all those details. All right. I think that's about it. I've been pretty tired today. I don't know why. Um, yeah, I don't really have too much to say. I guess it's just I'll be back probably June 17th. First stream back from vacation. And up until then, there won't be any sort of real work done other than maybe tomorrow. My vacation doesn't actually start till Wednesday. It's just I normally take Tuesdays off anyway. And if I do work tomorrow, it's going to be some off stream thing. And then, oh yeah, the only other date I haven't shared is I think July, maybe 19th, aiming for this for checkpoint number 2. We don't have to wait for a particular checkpoint in order for people to test things, but I think it helps because otherwise I think we're going to get a lot of feedback that we haven't had time to address yet. Probably working on the town tile map or testing. Yeah, by the way, part of the reason I pursued what I pursued here is if you do end up getting more enemy graphics from Quickie Joe, you could just add them in now. It should be as easy as just modifying all enemy data. Although you don't need to worry about stats or anything. Same thing with Fireball. If you get more projectiles or if you want to get lightning to work or something, it should all be pretty straightforward. They're all animated sprites, right? They're all just, yeah, they're just sprite frames. So you can just pass in a different path and it should just work. Anyway, feel free to do that stuff. If not, that's also totally fine. I'm sure we'll be in touch though. It's not like I'm going to be totally off the grid. I just won't be able to stream. I'm going to go find someone to raid. I've mentioned this many times now, but I am trying to get through pretty much the entire software and game development category. Who have I not rated? Okay, I don't think I rated this person. Let me check. No, I have not. All right, let's go rate him. Raid person ending with Ali, I think. Okay, cool. All right, I'll see you all later. Feel free to join Discord if you want to stay in touch. Otherwise, that's it for me. Take care. Bye. Have a good next month.